Hello, everyone. I am Professor Geek. Excuse me. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Star Wars Holiday Special Rewatch. This is the second annual one because Troy, Nanette, and Al did the first one last year on Troy's channel, but this is the first year that I'm joining, and offered to host it on my channel. So very excited to do that. And we have another new voice with us tonight, which will be Sound Engraver, and her first time seeing this House Holiday Special. So first reaction to it. So that will be great. If you're joining us from the Magician's Nephew book study over on the Catholic Bible Geek channel, welcome to those who popped over. If you're joining us fresh here, that's great. Good to see you. I'm going to bring in the panel here in just 1 second and then switch over. I'm going to have well, as you see, my thumbnail here is Phoenix Halcyon, our good friend Phoenix Halcyon, who did the awesome fan art thumbnails for us when we did the Dune book study. He did me as Paul Muad'Dib and Al as Baron Harkonnen. He's got me here as Luke Skywalker, which is awesome. And he did fan art for the rest of us as well, the rest of the panel there. And I think they're still, it was the very last minute that I gave it to them, so they're still switching and finding their right avatars or whatever, putting it up. So I will bring in, I see backstage we have Big Al and Sound Engraver already. And let me bring them on in here, and we will see what's going on. With me, as always, is the trusty TA, Big Al Baca himself. Welcome, Al Baca. Say hi.
Oh.
Awesome. Love that. Love what he did for you is Al Baca there. That's really cool.
I love it. It's awesome.
That is really cool. And I see backstage Sound Engravers with us as well. I don't think she saw the fan art, but I'll bring her in and show her where it is and everything. But welcome to the lovely and talented Sound Engraver. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. How are you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh.
Did you see the fan art I posted? I did it on Facebook. I forgot you're mostly on Twitter, but I was trying to go quickly.
Yeah, let me check. I actually need to know where the actual video is too. I was hunting for that, but let me check that out.
Once I get people in, once I get you guys in here, I'm still going to slip away for a moment while we banter, and then we'll start
I'm so cute.
Your art too, yeah. Can you download that? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I can download that, right? Let's see.
Yeah, you just right-click it or whatever. But you did a great job, Phoenix Halcyon. I don't see you here yet, but if you are, or if you're watching and you're just quiet, but you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and Troy and Netter are awesome. He did Troy is Han and Netter is Leia. You know, just like the thumbnail that was on here for the stream. It's so cool.
He's like Han Solo.
Yes, that's right. Because we say in the thumbnail, he's the Klingon cleric, so he went with it. It's really cool. So while you're doing that, and while we're waiting on Troy and Nanette backstage here, I will go ahead and welcome our chat. I did see Nanette on for a second, and then she jumped off. So I'm hoping they're okay with Wi-Fi issues and everything. But let me welcome the chat while you're doing that. Let's see. First up, I did the other day. I think Troy or Nanette, I forget exactly. I set this up a few days ago, so they Troy will remind me who was first and whatnot. But here I see first is Alex Starr, our good friend Alex Starr, who I've mentioned many times, who does the amazing EU timeline, which has helped me tremendously in my journey through the EU from the beginning. Wonderful. It's awesome. So welcome to you, Alex Starr. Skipper Kenner, good to see you as well. And those Skipper's a good friend of Troy's and been a constant present in these rewatches. So great to see you around. Wolf 10 Media is here. Netter's Network, of course. And she'll be with us here shortly. Shot Down in Flames. This thumbnail picture alone is worth a good thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, that was Troy put that together with the thumbnails and everything, or with the Bitmojis, and had sort of the concept of Sound Engraver showing up like the only one to the party who didn't dress up or something, and then I just kind of put it in the format of it. It was really cool. Let's see. Sound Engraver, of course, with us. Troy, of course. Matthew Flynn, Tom Spiegel. Welcome, Tom Spiegel. Agent Boomer is with us. All the usual crew here. Jedi Master Zetopia. Got to call out Jedi Master on a Star Wars stream. Melissa Harris. Casey Scott. Hey. Welcome to you all. Andy Lopez. Phoenix Halcyon is here. Finished under the wire. Yeah, you did an amazing job, Phoenix Halcyon.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is awesome.
It really is cool. Samuel Proctor. Welcome. All right, let me go back to StreamYard and see if we go. Oh, yes, we do have them. Okay, so now as you can see it, let me show off what we've got here, and then I'll bring in I'll bring in Nanette and Troy. So you already saw my thumbnail. Here, I'll show it one more time. All big like that. It's really cool. Really love it. Great job with that. Got the beard, got the hair, got the debonair glasses and all. Then we have Al Baca. I like the little shading of hair, color in the hair and everything. And he's got his face. I love that he made you a total Wookiee, but that is absolutely the Big Al Presents face. I love it.
I could see the Baron in there too.
Yeah.
And he's got your beard is still makes sense with the Wookiee. Like you know, your little mustache and goatee. Yeah, perfect. And then this is Sound Engraver and her very cute little R2D2 hat, big blue eye, just perfect. Like the first
awesome.
I love
first
it.
time showing up to the rewatch. That's great.
I do speak, I just for the record, I do speak FM and R2D2 speaks FM, so I think it's appropriate.
Very cool. Very cool. And now, without further ado, I will welcome to the stream Mr. Troy, the Klingon cleric himself. Welcome, Klingon.
Oh, man.
I love this artwork. Let me tell you, this is incredible.
That's awesome.
That's just genius.
Very cool. Did such a great job. The ridges and all, but you're clearly Han Solo. Very cool. Or as Al says, Han Solo. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, here, not only to keep Troy, but I think all of us in line tonight is Mrs. Netter's Network. Nanette, welcome. Great to have you on.
Sweet.
Looking lovely as Leia there.
Look at those eyes. He got you.
Yeah.
My eyes look that good in real life. Those are so blue. I love them.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that you. Thank you so much, Phoenix. And what a quick turnaround, too. You just emailed me the other night and said, hey, do you want me to do these? I was like, it's like 5 of us. Are you sure you can, but man, he delivered. So Phoenix, let me check you in the chat there. I'm going to give you, here we go. Here's your reward. You get a wrench, Mr. Phoenix Halcyon. And the wrench is for you to be able to drop the link to your Deviant art page because
please do.
That's where all your fan art is. And it's good art of us. And don't be, hang on. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Add moderator. Okay, there you go. So yeah, and just because it's a deviant art page doesn't mean it's deviant in its art. It's nothing crass or off color there. It's just really amazing art. So you're now wrenched, Phoenix Halcyon. So if you want to drop the link in the chat, you can do so where people can see more of your stuff. I did, as I said, I'm switching over quickly, so I just need 1 or 2 more minutes just to mute my mic for a second and step away and set some things up here. So as I do that, you guys feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Or Troy, this is you kind of wanted to do this annual rewatch and everything, and this is the second. So if you want to say anything, words of introduction or whatever, I'll be right back.
Absolutely. I think a great introduction to this would be first, let me go ahead and drop the link for you guys. You're going to open this up in another tab. Hit pause at 00. That's we'll all watch that together. And while we do, let me go back and give everybody a little bit of history, especially Sound Engraver. Sound Engraver, I know you are into history. You kind of know where all this stuff comes from, but just from the point of view of a little boy in 1978 who was so excited about Star Wars, who had begun collecting his Star Wars action figures from Kenner, just had seen Star Wars, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times, as many times as I could get adults to take me to see it. There's that long stretch then, or at least to kids, a couple of years seems like a long stretch. And, we didn't know if there was going to be a sequel or not. We were hoping there would be. And then we get word of a holiday special, right? Now, holiday specials for kids, oh my gosh, it's the Peanuts and it's Rudolph and Frosty and Santa Claus and everything that's great about the holidays. And now it's going to have Star Wars too. We're so excited. You got to remember, though, the 70s were a weird time. They really were.
Studio 54 was in full blast.
Yeah, and on television, most specials were variety shows. The Osmonds had a variety show, and Dolly Parton had a variety show, and Sonny and Cher, and the Brady Bunch,
Tony Orlando and Dawn,
right? But they were weekly, and you knew that there was a singing segment, and there was a comedy sketch, and there was whatever. You kind of weren't expecting that from Star Wars. Star Wars doesn't really, but they did it nonetheless. Just because you can do a thing, it does not necessarily follow that you should.
The world
So-
was not expecting what it got.
It really did.
Well, it's kind of like that's a tie to the sequel trilogy, so I guess it was a preemptive measure, 30 some odd years before.
I think what's even weirder about it is, as a Star Wars holiday special, it was kind of geared towards children and families, but there's definitely elements about this that are not. I mean, the kids missed it. As a kid, I didn't. I just got bored and zoned out at those points. But my parents caught some jokes there that I didn't catch till many, many, many years later. Yeah, we'll be talking about some of that. So anyway,
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit over here and eat my Wasakaberry pudding.
I'll get to that during
I'm
the,
so jealous.
I did not. I was working on a video, a cooking video of making this Wasakaberry pudding. I just did not have time to get it put together before we aired tonight.
I saw the ingredients. It looked too involved for my baking skills.
I thought it was too, but after trying it a couple times and failing miserably the first time, it actually wasn't so bad. I could probably do this every year now. I find that I have less time now that I'm gainfully employed. I spend my days,
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Yes,
much.
congratulations, big
But
time.
that also means I only have my evenings open to me. So, the professor's back. I'm sorry. I was just taking over the show here.
No, I wanted you to introduce and thank you for filling the space. I just got back. I just heard that congrats and wanted to chime in because that's a big deal. So
The holiday special only aired one night. It was November 17th, 1978. And it was never seen again.
Mhm.
So the only way it still exists is if somebody got a videotape of it. And back then, videotapes were scarce. It was a brand new technology.
Mhm.
Well, sometimes the people that had the videotapes were the people at the networks. See, it would be sent out by videotape to, the different cities to play on their networks. It wasn't as well. I mean, there was satellite TV but that again, this is the 70s. This is, the Stone Age to some of you kids. So it just turned out that less than, I think it was like 5 years ago, somebody found in Dayton, Ohio, their copy of their VHS copy, their original, their first generation.
Wow.
At WHIO in Dayton. It still existed, and somebody got a hold of it and put it out on eBay.
That's
and
awesome.
some collector grabbed it up and digitized it. And that is what we're watching today. We are seeing the original, this is the best, crispest version you can get. I believe it's edited, so they took out most of the commercials, and those are pretty rough edits. But by and large, this is the purest form that we're going to go through tonight.
I'm glad you sent me this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to drop the link again, but
Yeah,
it looked
yeah,
like it
please
went
do.
away.
I'm glad you did send me this because I had an old version that I bought pirated off of a con table. That guy who sells the DVDs at the cons, Al,
Yeah.
And it did have all the commercials intact. It was like Glen Burnie, Maryland, and you saw these local things. And I love from a like historical perspective, I love seeing those old commercials as they aired. But you're right, it would have been a weird thing to go through in a rewatch.
If they were doing like Maryland stuff, that was probably what I saw.
The version you watched also.
One of the more common con, pirate tapes that was going around for a lot of years was actually from WGN Chicago. So it was literally the version I had seen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I do have that somewhere, but it's a poor, those con tapes were, generation after generation. This is the best you can do. So I say we should just jump right into it. And then
Age of Boomers got a
Yeah, well, that's so everybody. He dropped the link there, so queue up that link and just pull it all the way back to the start. And as soon as I do the super chat, we'll go ahead and count down and we can talk as we enjoy the film here. Yeah. So, Age of Boomer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciated. I do have my eyes on the chat as we're watching this along, so I will be if you tag us, and I'll be occasionally calling that out, and I'll certainly catch our super chats as well. It says, have you seen the Donnie and Marie Star Wars special? I have not seen the entire thing, but I saw parts of it. A little disconcerting to see Donnie and Marie, brother and sister, play.
Dude, that's what I was talking about, man. I used to watch that show every week, so I saw that episode when it originally aired. And yeah, Donnie and Marie, it was a little
Creepy.
awkward, yeah. And yet to know that in reality, I mean, Mormon, totally pure type of people, they were just, they knew they were just acting, singing, whatever.
Sure.
It wasn't anything weird, but
Yeah.
in retrospect, the
Retro,
70s were a weird time. I told you people.
All right.
Oh, and full disclosure, anybody see the Lego Star Wars holiday special yet?
I
No.
There
have
is no such
access
thing.
to it.
There is only one Star Wars holiday special.
Exactly. And it's the best and the only, right?
Exactly.
Wow, then what did I watch today?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
I would probably be asking myself the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
All right. Well, here we go. Alex starts the holiday special was also watched at a convention after being voted for Christmas in 2008. It beat out How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Wow. That's crazy.
Wow, that's a big
Yeah.
deal.
So if you've got your fingers on the button there, I'm going to count. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and on the word play, that's when we'll hit the button there on the YouTube screen. So here we go. And if you need a timestamp, let us know. We're watching along too, so we can, if anybody has a glitch or whatever. But here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
It does start out with a commercial, so
Love it.
It's
I love this
an
classic.
It's
appropriate
awesome.
commercial.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome commercial though.
I cannot begin to say how much my childhood was shaped by these toys. Let me
Oh,
tell you.
yeah.
My only regret is no closed captions.
Isn't there? Wait a minute. This is
If YouTube might have the function, or is they disable it?
oh, I don't see it. No, I'm
Yeah, I don't
sorry.
have it on my
No,
mind.
Bummer.
I'm sorry.
That was the land speeder was the first toy I got.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, you got a figure. I had the land speeder.
I had that Death Star playset. Not only did I have it as a little boy, but when I got to be a big boy, my netter bought me another one.
I used to have the board game Escape from the Death Star.
I have four
I
of
wish,
them
God, I wish I
re-released.
Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Yes.
The Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman would not be seen that night. To
And
me,
boy,
that's
and
special.
boy, would people regret not seeing them.
But can you imagine how many people tuned into this? Because Star Wars, even just that first movie, was such a phenomenon that, I mean, yeah, people really, and what a joy it would have been just to see Han and Chewie again in new footage.
Right.
There.
I gotta say, I was disappointed because I, of course, watched the Hulk and Wonder Woman, but my mother said, "Don't worry, you're not missing anything. They're just not playing it tonight." Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not missing anything.
You still there, Santa Graver? Just making sure if we've been.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
Okay, good. Just want to make
She's
sure
getting nervous.
No, I'm hyper focused on this thing I'm seeing
Yeah.
and listening to you guys at the same time.
And well, you should be hyper focused. Yeah. You
I
might
should say-
want to kind of zone out at
Just
some
before
point.
hyperspace.
That's
I
right.
should, I should say too that to my usual audience here, this is going to be a rewatch unlike any other ones because if you note, I did not put rewatch and analysis. This is just a rewatch, just having fun. I couldn't imagine being able to fill all of the silence here. So you are going to just hear us silent sometime, perhaps chatting with. You'll talk
You
about
notice
things.
even the fonts aren't quite right.
Yeah, with way too much makeup.
Yeah, way too much makeup. Yeah.
And way blonde.
Yeah, I guess he was
I
trying
don't
to
want
match.
be here. Hello.
He was trying to match his toy, I guess.
Who was stoned out of her mind.
Yes, she was. Watch Carrie Fisher stumble as she tries to cross the set.
I didn't know that. Was she stoned?
Yes, she was. If she wasn't,
wow.
she was drunk. There was.
Yeah.
She was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's she had been drinking.
Guys, did you hear that? James Earl Jones as the voice of Darth Vader. That was a big deal that he got that billing.
Yeah. Ichibaka.
Yep.
Milo is actually very pretty for a Wookiee.
Played by
Now,
a
see-
dude.
And a
I was
creepy
just
dude.
I was just gonna put Al on the platform there and say, okay, Al, if you were growing up on Kashyyyk there, would you is
am
Mala
sure-
somebody you would be taken with?
I'm telling you, I'm sure
I'd be
Mala
going for B,
is
Arthur.
one hot Wookiee. I think Chewbacca's got some good taste.
Jefferson Starship.
Oh, honey, this is the full version with the really bad singing.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
no, the singing was actually not bad. It was the comical acts that were bad.
Didn't
Of
you
course.
tell me that Leia sings or Carrie Fisher
Yeah,
sings?
she
Yeah.
sings at the end.
and she
That was
can't
one of
sing.
her requirements for doing this, was she wanted to be able to sing a musical number.
But I will
Boy.
say, as much grief as we give this thing, the animated
Yeah.
Yup.
section with Boba Fett is awesome.
And that was
Yeah.
his first appearance ever.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
And didn't you say in the season 1 of Mandalorian they brought that weapon or they made something about
Yep.
that cannon or something?
Yeah.
He's
And
got
not
it,
only
yeah.
that, but when he
Hold on.
fires it, it actually disintegrates
Okay, well.
what it hits, which
Well-
again ties into the lore.
Oh, that's right. Because then it's Empire Strikes Back where he says no disintegrations. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So this would be the
That's
first time.
exactly right. And I
I
just,
like the stairs. I like the stairs.
yeah, you know,
It's a even though it's a treehouse in Kashyyyk there, it's very much a 70s style.
Oh,
home.
yeah.
it very much is, right?
A sunken living room.
And yeah, it's incredibly painful that you have these long stretches with the Wookiees and there is no dialogue that you can understand and you don't get subtitles, nothing like that.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Oh, Mr. Matchstick says, I didn't put this together, but I guess you guys probably knew it. He said the reason Mark Hamill had so much makeup on is because this is right after his motorcycle crash. Is that true? I didn't know that. Okay.
It is, but it's not exactly why. He was not injured as badly as the rumors have made it out to be. And he's talked about that at conventions. People have
Okay.
even said that, all the
Grandpa's got
story
one heck
in
of an
Empire
underbite.
Strikes Back, like
Uh-huh.
where his face is messed up and stuff, that was to cover up the fact that he was injured and stuff. And it was like, no, it wasn't really that bad. They just blew it all out of proportion.
Yeah.
I do see his Ichibaka's underbite there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now I can translate this whole thing. Kids, stop bugging me. Get over here and take out the garbage. No, I don't want to.
Put
No
it back.
snacking before dinner.
That's basically why they didn't do it, because they figured, well, you'll get the idea,
Mhm. Yeah.
But for kids, it gets kind of dry and boring for these long stretches of time,
That what he
But
just
take
did right
out
there.
the
That is
garbage.
so Alyssa. I say, don't do that, and I turn away and grabs it and puts it behind her back. I didn't. I'm fine.
But, ooh, look at that. Mala got some back.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
jeez.
Oh,
Wow, Al. Okay.
Now, keep in mind there are two ladies that are also hosting here.
What,
So,
does she have a? She has a back. She turned around.
Yeah.
not what
that's
you meant,
exactly
and we know it.
And
Yeah,
that's where he
perfectly cute.
lives. That
Mhm.
would freak me out.
Well,
this was-
because you don't like heights.
Yeah.
Mhm. And this was the very first time you saw Kashyyyk, and even, later, I guess the first, if I'm not wrong, the first visual you'd see of Kashyyyk after this would be in Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
there, and then also when you eventually see it in the prequels, the episode 3, it's not that different here. Now the interiors of the house don't quite look like that, and this is a cheap matte painting, as you can see, but it's the same design. It's basically these tree-like homes and
For all
villages.
the hate this thing gets, even from George Lucas, the canonicity of the broad points of this have pretty much stayed.
Mhm.
There's still arguments in fandom over whether or not Chewbacca really does have a wife and kid. However, Itchy has been canonized in the prequels.
Oh, has he?
Yes, he was one of the warriors.
Oh, okay.
And you can
okay.
see him in like the visual guide and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. And Alex Starr, thank you for correcting me. The first visual after this, the first visual of Kashyyyk was the Thrawn trilogy comics, which happened before Knights of the Old Republic. So yeah, okay, I didn't.
Good point.
That makes
good
sense.
point.
You see Chewbacca, and you see Leia, and just so sad that they're no longer with us.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That really is rough.
Poor Peter Mayhew.
Mhm.
He was the only one of the major ones I have ever gotten to meet. Oh well, no, well I did meet David Prowse, so
Oh, cool.
but he was a very nice
Now that
guy.
I think about it, the only one that I ever met. Well, I did meet Peter Mayhew.
Yeah,
It's a very cozy home.
yeah,
And I met Mark Hamill.
Oh, nice. You met Mark Hamill. Wow.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I met him while I still liked him. I wouldn't even want to bother
That's
with
true.
him now.
Or he went nutso on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah, he fell to the dark side.
Yeah.
See, and now
Nice.
Grandpa and Junior kind of like teaming up.
Hmm. Now, what is this son's name? I forget. Do we ever know anything besides Junior? Or
Yep, Lumpy.
It's
Lumpy, that's right.
Full name
Lumpy.
Lumpawaru.
Richie, Lumpy, and Malo. That's right. Why don't we have that technology yet? I know we do, but why isn't it used? Holographic entertainment like that?
Because I don't need to see Cirque du Soleil on a chess table.
Not necessarily saying that would be my choice of entertainment, but could you imagine watching, some cool like Stargate SG-1 or the Star Wars movies, live like that and holographic? That'd be awesome.
And of course, I'm looking at it going, where's his other boot? I like those boots.
Yeah.
Well, at least the tall one. I don't like the short one so much.
I love the fact that the controllers on each side of that table are like old cassette decks.
Yes. Skipper Kenner says my brain is
no-
starting to hurt.
You can't make too much fun of that because the way they did the props and the technology was very in keeping with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I like about classic science fiction, whether it's Star Wars or the original series of Star Trek or whatever. They call it atomic punk when it came from the 50s. I don't know what it would be called from the 80s, but your vision of the future, you can't help but to contextualize that in with your current technology.
Yeah.
So like Star Trek with the computer's voice, like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of these green screen effects have got a real Doctor Who vibe.
Yeah.
From the old days.
Yeah, because they were filmed on videotape. That's why.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then they may have been combined with film footage, and that's where you get that duality. It's weird, but it's of its time, right?
Yep.
So
I
And
didn't
I'm
know,
sorry, there's some scenes where you look at Lumpy and he's just nightmare fuel.
and he's just what?
Nightmare fuel.
Oh. Well, he's staring at nothing, trying to do facial expressions of like trying to be interested in something, but it's not looking at anything.
Yes, no discredit to the actor, right? To emote through all that costume and makeup, is pretty impressive. And you're right, emoting to nothing.
Yeah.
Well, too, the Wookiee costume, there is a touch of uncanniness seeing human eyes and that's the only human thing you recognize under all that, other Wookiee makeup and whatnot. So it can seem.
And when you
with
consider that the mouth and teeth and the forehead and everything are all like an animatronic,
yeah,
it really, there's a realism to it that is kind of creepy,
So he doesn't control the mouth. That's controlled by a puppeteer then. Is that right? You said animatronic?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes.
Oh, okay. I never put that together.
Forehead also. Like
Oh,
when the
okay.
brow goes up and down, same thing.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if that was true with Chewbacca in all scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that modern Wookiee, masks, the deluxe ones,
Mhm.
have very elaborate units so that when you move the jaw, it pulls back the gums and the teeth, and it's pretty elaborate stuff. But I don't know if they actually did that back then on
Mhm.
set.
That is awesome. I just Alex Starr just enlightened me that the holiday special, the family here, the holiday special is basically canon in the EU too, because AC Crispin put his family into some of the Han Solo books.
That's true. That
Very
is true.
cool. I'm not that far yet.
They were also in the Marvel Comics line of stories.
Oh, cool. That's on my Christmas list, the Marvel collection of Star Wars books, or comics rather.
So there were not a lot of things that, and like I said, I was working on a video that I haven't yet finished, but we're working on marketing tie-ins for this, most of which never came to fruition. Probably the most prominent one that did, however, was a storybook called A Wookiee Holiday or something like that. That's where the story of the Wasaka berry pudding comes from.
It's Luke.
Mm-hmm.
See, they were social distancing back then too.
They're FaceTiming.
Honestly, I mean, looking at this over the years, I've kind of felt like that. It's like, what, they couldn't get together to film all their scenes. They had to just shoot some shots. Here, I'll just do my shot and then I'm done, right?
Yeah, Lumpy's got a bit of an attitude, and I think that's because Chewbacca's always gallivanting all around with saying he needs his father at home for a little discipline.
Needs a good strong father figure. But I like the way that they show that their communication device is hidden. Like this is used for the rebellion, and Kashyyyk is under the Empire.
Now he's got to literally repeat everything they say back to them to translate for the audience.
It's also the first time you learn their names because you hear a human talking to them. I do like, though, we can see that's cheesy from today's perspective and stuff, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Troy and Nanette, but as far as television specials go, this was kind of the norm back then. I mean, this was level of production, level of acting, level of music. So it does take me into a little sort of nostalgia for I wasn't alive. I was only born in 79, but watching metal DVDs of the Linda Carter Wonder Woman or the old 70s specials I do watch, like the Paul Lynde Halloween special and stuff like that.
In a way, think about the Muppet Show. The Muppet Show kind of was a latter day inspired by those kinds of variety shows.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Al. I should have said you too, because you certainly lived through this. Although you were a little old at the point of the 70s, so I don't know if you really remember too much of it. I love you, Big Al.
He remembers the Star Wars radio special.
I was 13 when this came out, and I was all into it.
Happy Life Day, you big lug.
Aged Boomer asks me how I am digging this electronic music, and I think he was talking about the hologram entertainment. Yeah. And it does remind me of like a side game, like a game quest for an older game.
Right.
Okay.
It's not the best composition, and it's not the quirky tunes. I think the quirky tunes are cool.
Well, Sound Engraver, what is your basic reaction thus far, just this way in?
I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Now,
I think that's a lot of shampoo that the Wookiee use.
Right? Her hair, it does look silky soft. I will say that.
Well, so does Lumpy's, Al.
Maybe she's born with it, or maybe
I don't have the same emotional attachment to Lumpy that I do to Mara.
I'm trying to be less weird, and you just put on the top.
Yes, silky soft hair.
Art Carney, hello.
Good old Art Carney.
And this would be your basic comedy sketch from a.
Yeah, you got the music scenes, the comedy. Yeah, it's a variety show. Is what it is.
Like the Carol Burnett show or something, right?
Mm-hmm. It did kind of deepen the lore for your basic audience, having only seen A New Hope. Watching what it's like to live under an Empire-occupied world and inspections like this and stuff.
One of the elements that I think people do tend to overlook, because it really is. I mean, I see all these videos that people do about how really the Empire was the good guy and the rebels were the bad guys, because life for the average person. I'm like, well, that's only because they haven't really shown the life of the average person, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you see something like this, you're like, yeah, that's what it's like to live under a true fascist regime, not just the way they throw around fascists these days.
Al, I know you're. Oh, go ahead.
I was looking at the Imperial's helmet there. I bet they repurposed that helmet for Buck in the Buck Rogers movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the
It has
draconian.
the draconian. It has a very draconian angles to it.
Skipper Kenner, by the way, hey Fuff, how you doing? Good to see you. He says, can you imagine Tim Conway being a part of this? Can you imagine Tim Conway being a part of it in the scenes with Harvey Korman?
That would have been awesome.
It would have been. There is no way anyone would have been able to make fun of this because you would be laughing so hard you'd have tears in your eyes.
Skipper Kenner also says sound engraver, and she says she was enjoying it so far. He says that's your nerve endings being flooded with dopamine to try and avoid the pain.
Yeah, that's my buddy Stan. Yeah. That's the kind of thing he would say.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Hey, you know something I just thought? This
What?
Imperial guy might be the first black guy ever in Star Wars.
An Imperial guy there?
And the Imperial guy, he's black, isn't he?
I didn't see. Is he
I
black?
don't think so.
I don't think. Maybe your color's off on your.
Oh, he does. He does appear a little bit dark skinned, but I think that's
Yeah,
just the tan.
Well, I know he looked like a light-skinned black man to me.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess you don't really see just the face there, so I guess maybe.
I don't see it's a big deal.
Matthew Flynn, I know that Troy, you're a big Boba Fett fan. I think, I know Al's a big Boba Fett fan, and probably you too, Troy.
Sure.
But he said he looks different in The Empire Strikes Back than he did in this animated special. Other than the coloring, does he look that different?
Well, considering the animation style, they all look different because they look like they're melting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does look a little bit different. There are some stylistic differences. But yeah, the color is probably the biggest part. In fact, in the video that I just put out, I have an action figure based on the animated version here.
So using the footage from The New Hope,
Yep.
but different dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that Admiral what's his name over here came back from the dead.
That's right. That's right.
I always thought he escaped.
Well,
Oh, really?
there's a lot of fans that would argue that he absolutely did, so that he was still in the holiday special.
True,
canonically.
Because asked after he asked Grand Moff Tarkin if he should prepare his ship, I was like, okay, he just bounced and let Tarkin stay there.
I never thought about that in all of these years, Sound Engraver. That is a great insight.
Well, thank you.
I like that.
See,
that is good thinking. I know I would
That
have.
is why we needed Sound Engraver on this wall.
And
I like
if this
Alex
had
Starr's
been,
comment. He says he watched the holiday special each day for 12 days in 2018. He was going to do 30 for Christmas marathon, but gave up.
Oh wow.
oh well,
wow.
here comes Skipper
You suffered
Kenner's
enough.
favorite part.
Is this a male actor or a female?
That's Harvey Korman, yeah.
Yep.
Harvey Korman, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And as I
Sound-
told you, Troy, he does mention the dish he was going to make, but I didn't get to hear what it was called.
I thought it was Bantha Surprise.
yeah, it is some sort of a meat dish. I love that hair. That is awesome. By the way, I will definitely be working on a custom action figure of this character. No doubt. About it.
Awesome. Please do a video and show it.
Oh, I will. Absolutely.
Almost kind of like Bram Stoker's Dracula hair a little bit.
Kind of, yeah.
I still think my favorite segment of the whole holiday special is B. Arthur's because she's so awesome anyway.
She
And
is pretty good. And she sings a song, and it's actually pretty good. It's probably the best song in here.
It's the Cantina music, it's the song.
Yeah, but it's like slowed down with lyrics,
Yeah.
Yeah, Akmina is also going to become a custom figure.
Awesome.
If you saw my video, she's the mail away offer on the card back.
I did. I remember that. That's right.
I don't know if anyone who goes to put something in their pot and takes a bite of it first.
Are you kidding me? Have you ever watched me cook? I eat half the ingredients before they ever make it into the dish.
throws off the proportions, so no one can really do your recipe. It's all custom.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, the joke here being, and this would probably be lost on a younger generation, but there was this idea of Julia Child back in the day, and she would do her cooking show, and you would try to follow along with her. But this was in the days before you could hit pause and write things down, and stuff like that. So
that's why you had to buy her book.
Right, exactly. And
the joy of cooking.
Whip, whip,
Whip, stir.
So she's obviously trying to do exactly the same thing she's seeing on the Holonet here.
Yeah.
And she's going to struggle to keep up to begin with, but it gets even more ridiculous.
That's the comedy that Mothers of the Day would certainly have gotten there.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It can be fun.
But it's science fiction. So we're going to take this to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Well, concerned that Mala's not even putting her utensils in the pot.
And now you find out that the alien has extra hands. So if you were having a hard time following along before,
it was right about here when I was young that I was wondering, what am I watching?
Right? That's pretty much where most people were on this.
Oh.
But Troy made that Mala figure with apron.
Yes,
that's awesome.
did.
He sewed that apron himself.
Caught it just in time.
Makes you wonder who's behind Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where Tim Conway would have come in perfect.
Yeah.
Now, why isn't she wearing a mask?
Right. Well, she's not wearing a hairnet either.
I see when he tries to put the ladle in the mouth, but it's somebody else's hand, so it's like in his eyes.
Right, exactly. And that's part of the joke.
Do you imagine if a Wookiee was working like at a school kitchen, the kind of a hairnet they'd have to come up with her?
Oh my
god! Full body net, right? Again, more stock footage here,
but awesome stock footage,
right?
Mm-hmm. But that's new footage of them in the cockpit. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I love those pulse cannons.
Yep.
I think it was, Matthew Flynn asked my thoughts on the sequel trilogies really briefly since we're, watching this. But I will say, I think they get a lot of hate they don't deserve. And we are going to do a rewatch of them in the new year at some point. I think you need to watch them in with the knowledge that they're the prequel to the original trilogy. Too many people tried to watch them as though they were.
You had said sequel, and you scared me when you said.
Yeah, I misunderstood that.
You said they meant the hate they deserve, and I'm like, what?
No. I meant prequel. Sorry.
No, I agree with you, Professor. And I think a lot of the fan base is doing the same thing. They're going, okay, in retrospect, especially after the sequel trilogy, that prequel trilogy is looking pretty darn good.
Yeah. It's like Superman Returns.
We have a question from the audience for you. Is today the day it actually aired in 1978?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay, so I was correct. That's like, I believe so. So now you know for sure, Christopher Davis.
You notice they weren't firm on the name of the planet, and he said Kazook.
Oh,
Kashyyyk.
Yeah. Well, they in the Knights of the Old Republic they pronounce it Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk, yeah.
Kashyyyk.
Well, it drives me up the wall when sometimes people say my Klingon name and they say Carton, as in Carton. And I'm like, no, it's Carton. You got to get those accents right.
I'm so glad you corrected me, Al, because I was freaking out the chat. Apparently, Alex Star says I was about to slap you, and Wolf Tim Media's like, "Phew!"
I know. Unsubscribe.
Sorry.
I was like, you said it. You said you talking. I was like, okay, well, and I was sitting there waiting for the rant because you said sequel, and then you goes, well, they don't get the hate.
I thought for sure he was about to say something, very even-handed, like that first one wasn't bad, and
we're gonna do a rewatch of. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you corrected me. I get my words mixed up sometimes. Yes, prequel trilogy, folks.
Well, the long-haired faces.
His words mixed up. I mean, what? It's not like he teaches literature and writing or anything.
I know, right? I'm worried about that kind of stuff.
That's why he's such a good math wizard.
I do love Art Carney and Harvey Korman's just persistent presence in the special, because they were the stuff of variety shows of this.
And
era,
I'll be honest with you, Harvey Korman and Art Carney and B. Arthur are not the problem with this at all.
They're wonderful.
No, not at all. I think the worst. I think ultimately the worst thing about this was the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the pacing was terrible.
I mean, they had a 2-hour.
That is a sweet.
It should have been a lot less,
isn't it?
I want a music studio that looks like that.
Look at right in the foreground here. You have that Bantha plushie.
Mm-hmm.
We never actually got that. That was something we all wanted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's now available from the Disney store.
I like the fact that there's a lean-to. Like you can see the tree to the left.
Yeah.
It's like a lean-to attic.
Now, I have a special love for what he's got there right now, because back in the 70s, those little electronic project toys, those educational toys, I had one of those and I used it to build myself a little electronic organ.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It was, yeah.
Here's where it gets a little weird.
Oh, silicon porn.
Wow. Yeah.
Here, Grandpa, I'm going to give you
And
a
I
little
love
video to watch.
You know, it's basically a beautician's hair dryer, you know.
Yeah, but can't Grandpa do this in his own room?
Oh,
I just love that underbite there, man.
That's one thing I don't love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell us what you think about this musical piece here, Sound Engraver.
Kind of reminds me of Reading Rainbow.
Butterfly in the sky. No, that's much better actually. This is wow. The writer and director of this have come out since and said, "Oh yeah, we were tripping balls when we did this thing." They don't even try to hide that fact.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I like psychedelic stuff, but I can be completely.
There is something to be said.
Influence.
I would love for you to do a show on the aesthetics of the psychedelic era and psychedelics in general, because it's not really just about drugs and tripping. I mean, there's a style to music and the visual effects and whatnot that have their place, I think.
I will say, if Star Wars had music like this in the actual film, would not have made it.
No.
Would not have made it at all.
No, it would not. And this, I don't think, is good psychedelics, to be honest with you.
It's very simple writing.
Yes.
Welcome to Leah Plus Size. Joined us a little late, but good to see you there.
Hi, Leah.
Hello.
So basically, she's saying you've created me from your subconscious. That's what the program. So he's creating his dream woman entertainer here. So weird.
Can you imagine what the SJWs would be saying about this today?
Oh my gosh.
There'd be a racial component to it, a sexist component to it.
I really don't need to see Ichibaka's reactions. That
right.
just makes it weirder.
I don't know. I'm going to say it. It's kind of Albaka to me.
Albaka.
And he does. He keeps. And what's he doing? He's hitting the rewind like you did when you got free Cinemax. You know.
Phoenix Halcyon says,
"Did you remember this scene, Troy, when you invited me on?"
Yeah, I was a little concerned about it.
Just remember, it's live TV in the 70s. It can only go so far.
And again, remember, everything is pure to the pure. I had no idea what they were getting at with this. I was actually bored. If I could have fast forwarded, I would have, because this was boring
it goes over
old
children's
people
heads
music to me.
Yeah. Phoenix Halcyon says, "Has anyone ever tried to explain every alien species attraction to humanoid women? Jabba, Wookiees, everyone likes them." That's an interesting question. I never thought about that. But you're right, because you wouldn't necessarily in the world you wouldn't necessarily find another alien species attractive, but all aliens seem to find human or at least humanoids attractive, Twi'leks and stuff like that. That's interesting. Even Jabba, who's a slug, wouldn't be attracted to another physical form. That's interesting.
That's because we're so smooth.
If you really want to dig into the minutia of Jabba, Jabba's race is hermaphroditic. So the fact that he's specifically attracted to females is weird to his race.
Okay.
Yeah, but Jabba had a
wife. They're female Hutts in the movies and stuff, and in the Clone Wars.
How do worms procreate? They exchange.
Why are we talking about this while watching this?
Oh my! Did you hear that? She sounded horrified. Why are we talking about this now?
This is what I was. It's stuff like this I was waiting for from Sound Engraver.
Yeah, this is strange. I mean, and I guess a big part of it too is the goofy headpiece she's wearing.
Maybe I'm an outlier. I was just going to say I do kind of like the look. The costume, it does look alien but elegant.
The costume does, but the headpiece is weird.
I guess is that supposed to be her hair since she's an alien, or just a headpiece?
You got me. I don't know.
Sorry, no, not Dionne Warwick's real hair.
I mean, no, it's Diane Carroll.
Diane Carroll, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Sound Engraver. That's not her real hair.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly. If this was Dionne Warwick, I'd be like, "Excuse me, guys, I'll be back later. Call me when it's over." Even I have my limits.
Sartorical game. Way to go, guys! You broke Sound Engraver.
not that far from the truth.
It does get better after this, Sound Engraver. This is probably the worst
long sequence.
It is, isn't it?
And
but like Troy said, you'd be bored. Yeah, as a child.
Oh, that's why I'm checking my emails right now because I can't stand this section.
It's boring. I'm sorry. Even as an adult, I like the Jefferson Starship thing.
And, I like that too. Yeah.
And I like the comedy sketches now. This is just boring to me.
Well, Alex Starr says her alien species actually has a name. It's a Umwat. I didn't know that. Okay.
So you think that hair is hers? I mean, the characters?
I guess.
Maybe.
What do you say now?
I said, say what you will, but your expectations of the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, I don't have this.
Yeah, got that. There's that point,
and it's only 45 minutes, so they kind of learned a little bit of a lesson there.
You are not going to come on my channel and defend the Disney Plus Star Wars Holiday Special.
Hey, look, she's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here checking my emails just because the section is so boring. By the way, honey, you won that auction that you had on eBay for that other Star Wars thingy.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm defending the Lego Star Wars special.
You're just saying it's better than this.
I will just say that yes, it does have a few instances that would infuriate those who hate Little Miss Mary Ray. But only a couple.
Here it comes. Keep your eye on Carrie Fisher as she comes to walk around that desk.
Oh, okay. See, I missed this. I've only watched this through once in my life, and I didn't know this about Carrie Fisher. It's very okay.
Tell me that's not staggering.
She's drunk,
and I am not nearly that drunk.
But she's in character, I mean, you got to give her props for.
Oh, was Princess Leia lush?
What's that? Oh no, I mean I didn't mean it like that. No.
Hey, the woman just lost her planet. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still acting very well, which always impresses me when I hear about actors in TV shows or movies or whatever who are apparently like, either stoned or drunk,
Yeah.
whether it's like the Brady Bunch or Friends or whatever.
Yeah.
They still impress me how much they deliver the lines and they actually do the role, even if you can see them trip here or there or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even in Empire Strikes Back, I mean, there's scenes that I watched so many times and I never caught until someone points out, look at that scene where Harrison Ford is clearly feeding her lines to get her through the scene. And it's like, I never even caught that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there.
Friend of the Rebellion.
Yeah, all he did was tell you he's a member of the Alliance, so you know you can trust him.
Yeah.
Well, if Mala vouches for him.
Okay, you got a point there, yeah.
I think, see, I just don't hate this as much as other people do. Even the pacing, which is weird, I just see it as that's the genre that it was. Like if I watch or read a children's book of Star Wars or whatever, that doesn't really, all the parts don't appeal to me, but I know that that's that genre that it is. So well, you guys lived through it. So was it as universally eyebrow raising in the day it aired as it has become? Oh,
no.
Okay.
And if anyone tells you it was, they're misremembering. Because remember, kids my age, we talked about this the next week at school, and the kids that missed it were so upset. And they were going, well, maybe they'll play it again next year so I can see it. And of course they didn't, you know? And then like my buddy, my attorney who, you know, I play D&D with, he said, I never got to see it. I said, I'll hook you up, buddy. And then of course he jokes about it, but he's like, yeah, I see where I would have totally loved this as a kid. The parents didn't care. Like I said, this was like Donnie and Marie and you know, the Brady kids and stuff to them.
Was that your experience, Alan, Nanette?
Go ahead.
I actually remember watching this at my aunt's house. I was staying there. My mother was at some, I don't know, some Sarah Coventry coven thing. But,
that was an excellent plot twist.
Yep.
Yeah, I never had to watch this when I was a kid. I didn't get subjected to this horror show until Troy made me watch it.
She had mostly sisters, so she was spared. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, we had only had the first movie. And the world was still, at this point, I mean, a year and a half later, Star Wars was still huge.
Yeah.
And it was the first new thing coming out. Oh my Lord, you know, oh my. And so no matter how good or bad it was, we ate it up.
Melissa Harris is saying, I hope you do more Star Wars EU. We are going to do, after the new year, Kenobi. In January, we're going to start a book study of Kenobi by Joe Jackson Miller, which is really cool.
Was that
I like that they're putting in the kind of the sound, the Williams soundtrack, at least the flavor of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they draw on it very heavily because they knew that's how you get the flavor and feel of Star Wars. And you know, I'm not sure if you were joking or being serious, but the plot twist, you know, of them opening the door and the stormtroopers were there. You have to understand, for an 8-year-old kid, that was a huge dramatic effect. Oh no, the Empire's there, you know.
And this is after the Millennium Falcon flies overhead.
Yeah. And just here, I mean, just a little commentary. I mean, you got the "let me see your papers" kind of scene.
Yeah, it's very 1984.
Playing silly, playing funny, very much in that world, you know, just post World War II style, you know, of those kinds of jokes that they did back then.
And the tension of that stormtrooper over there near the hidden communications device, like at any moment he could trip it.
That's why I say, you know, Art Carney here has a perfect, false front, right? He doesn't even see it. Has this balance between comedy and the drama that I'm sure was intended, but not well pulled off in the whole rest of this show.
Don't you mess with Mama Wookie.
Don't you threaten my kid.
But that's where it gets really, really bad, right? That's where headlines come from.
Mm-hmm. So they know that Chewbacca is involved in the rebellion, so they're trying to get at him through his family. I do have 31 likes. That's awesome. And 29 watching. Pretty cool. So, yeah. Very nice.
Happy life.
Yeah, there are some sick people in the Professor Geek community.
I'm trying to give you a hint. Get in the flipping kitchen.
Happy life.
Look at that little gizmo there.
Did Nanette just use the F word?
No, I said flipping.
Oh, okay.
Flipping. Flipping.
It was quick. Yeah.
So that little doodah there is the gift that Sandan gave to Mala.
Mm-hmm.
What it actually is in reality.
Don't tell me.
Oh, my mom had one.
Oh.
Why? What did you think I was going to say?
It was part of the plot. Go ahead.
What it actually is the case for a hair dryer. You know, there's a hose that would come out of it. You'd put this inflatable thing over your head. They were actually quite common back then.
I think I had seen one of those.
Yeah.
In an antique shop or something.
One.
And that was a throwback to a Honeymooner sketch.
Jefferson Starship.
Yup. Oh, so you know, yeah.
Awesome. I really do like them.
Although I remember my joke about the microphone that he's using. My dad was worse than Al. Let's put it that way.
Oh, well. As a band, it's really cool. I mean, the progression of their name, Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, but their music really progressed through all those times too, from 60s to psychedelic, 70s stylish disco into the 80s rock. And that's cool.
And then that's going, yep, I know what joke your dad made.
I can't remember the name of the lead singer. I know it was he and the girl who shared the singing duties.
I remember Grace Slick.
Grace Slick, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, Grace Slick was always the lead singer.
Yeah, the guy.
I don't know who this bloke is.
He sang sometimes too. I can't remember his name.
And this song was released as a 45 single, and it was billed as seen in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. It was actually released. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. I am drawing a blank if it appeared on their next album or not, though. I don't know. Did I interrupt somebody? I'm sorry.
No, I said it was all sparkly glowy.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jar Jar Netter.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, sparkly glowy. Whee!
I do like the song. It reminds me a little bit of the Tubes in Xanadu, their version of their rock song they had in there.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I never made that correlation before.
That same kind of time period.
Ooh, look at the sound.
I like Wolfstead Media. What is this, MTV? This kind of predates MTV, actually. Although I totally could have seen them pull this whole segment out as a music video for this song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guitarist with that handlebar mustache reminds me of Derek Smalls from Spinal Tap.
All right. You guys need to do a rewatch of that because, well, I've never seen it.
Really? You never? Oh my gosh, so good.
I know. What? Spinal
Tap. Spinal Tap.
Oh, that's oh God.
I know, right?
Stonehenge.
What? Al, the director. Why am I blanking? Meathead from the TV show. The director, Rob Reiner. Yeah, before Princess Bride.
Or Carl Reiner Jr., if you will.
Oh, love that bass line.
Of course you do. You notice what he picks up on. If there was a violin, I know that Sound Engraver.
I'm not making any comment.
Sound Engraver doesn't like it.
Sound Engraver, did we lose you? Did you lose your enthusiasm for this?
I think it's horrible.
I love prog rock. I don't know about this song, but
I want Sound Engraver. It's horrible.
Now, I must ask this question.
yes.
Would you watch this several more times or watch the sequel trilogy again?
That's not a fair question. I mean,
Would you rather do a high dive into a latrine or gouge your eyes out?
It's a question. That's all.
I like that the imp seems to like it. He's got his little reaction shot there.
Well, because it is good music. Even Sundance back there, like, yeah.
Well, to us, it's good music. Apparently, the ladies don't agree.
I want my
Although I
dream
gotta
theater.
say, as a kid, I
Dream
was
theater,
again bored to tears.
This
I
is
love
such a long
I like
sequence.
the rings emanating upward, very much like Metropolis.
Yeah.
What's our timestamp? 49:10, and it started when?
You were about halfway through it,
49.
Sound Engraver.
Man.
I do have to say, Sound Engraver, your show the other night when you were talking about, I hope I have the reaction you all want. And I'm like, I love that about Sound Engraver because she is not going to fake anything. She is going to be honest.
Sound Engraver, look at it this way. We're only at the halfway point.
I know. I thought this was the end.
But I will say this is the hardest part to get through.
Yeah.
The early part.
Yeah.
The later part's a lot
I could have used a bathroom break or something. I didn't even think about that.
In fairness, this did have commercials back in the day, so you did get that option. Yeah.
I'll probably have to take
that's
one of
true.
those sooner than later anyway.
That chair at least looks comfortable.
It does.
Okay, fine. I won't give you my card.
Uh-oh. It's Lumpy's room. Lumpy's gift.
That's it. I'm gone.
I never would have dreamed of a time when you could just find this on YouTube, because Lucas was so adamant. Somebody said in the chat he said if he had a time machine and a hammer, he'd destroy every copy and so forth.
Yeah.
I guess the fans just demanded, they just felt that they couldn't fight it anymore,
Well, and this is why people really need to understand when you start thinking about things like intellectual property and stuff, you got to be realistic about it. The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
Yeah.
The more you try to control your intellectual property, the more people are just going to copy it and share it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That horse is out of the barn already.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as forbidden as it was, it was every con I ever went to, there was a copy of it being sold,
Yep.
Poor Lumpy.
At the exact same booth that was selling all the Star Wars blooper reels.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize is those were not really bootleg. Those were sold by Gene Roddenberry himself to make extra money on the side.
Wait, Star Wars by Gene Roddenberry? Are you
Star Trek? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, this is the best part. Okay,
Yep.
this
This is
is
good.
really the best part of it. This is why this thing exists. Your first, what do you call it, Mon Calamari?
Mon Calamari, yeah.
Because we didn't see them till Return of the Jedi.
Yep. Had the droid head cartoon hadn't come out yet. So
It
this
had
predates
not,
that.
but it was
No.
the same animation house.
Yeah. It's the animation is very evocative of like Heavy Metal, the movie and stuff.
You'll also notice all the Arakbesh writing here that wasn't used in most of Star Wars prior to this. General Dodonna
Yep.
from all these characters are voiced by the original voice actors, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, etc.
Mhm.
Luke is wearing the same uniform or the same outfit he was wearing at the award ceremony.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's cool that this is the very last time you saw them is what the gear they're in. So it really does put this in continuity right afterwards.
Yep.
And look what he's flying.
A Y-wing, exactly.
Y-wing, baby, my favorite.
Awesome. Now, did C-3PO just say he'll come along to interpret R2?
Yeah.
I thought the ship was supposed to interpret R2 for him, though.
Yeah, they always kind of played fast and loose with that kind of stuff. That's why they didn't need to be so direct about it here.
Mm-hmm. Samuel Proctor says Luke in a Y-wing is blasphemy. That's right. He's an X-wing pilot. That's his stuff. That's his jam.
Well, when you consider what's about to happen to this Y-wing, that's why they're using not his X-wing.
Yeah.
Splooch.
Yup. I love the idea of these inflatable things.
I know.
Do they come standard on space fighters?
There's something almost steampunk about it with such the high tech and then the low tech accoutrements of it. Yeah. So
this creature here, in a moment, you're going to see Boba Fett riding on one, and this creature was actually being designed. There were sketches. They were planning to make a toy.
Really?
To be one of the marketing tie-ins to this show.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that we ended up getting out of it, though, was Boba Fett.
Now, okay, that's a different
yes,
creature.
He was riding on one creature and he fended off the other.
I do like the little eyeball on the helmet. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, and that's the exact gun that the Mandalorian has in the first episode.
Mm-hmm. The disintegrator. I like this exchange, though. Luke worried about the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the aspirational
Boba Fett's
hero.
a survivor, so he, is very pragmatic.
Yeah.
He seems like a friend. Well, but isn't that Luke, right? He always wants to,
make the best of people. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the aspirational hero.
But again, this is why I say there is nothing you can say negative about this cartoon segment.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you know about Boba Fett, would you consider him evil or would he just consider him kind of neutral?
Anti-hero.
Yeah. Anti-hero at best, but yeah, probably more neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since we've seen some of his backstory in the prequels, I kind of don't blame him for hating the Jedi.
Right.
And if you hate the Jedi, you're going to, side with the Empire.
Mm-hmm. So the sleeping virus, that's what's got Han taken and Luke now.
Right.
It's going to be introduced May 2021.
Yeah, that's right. The sleeping virus to be introduced May 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
The next wave. Yeah.
At least we can sleep through that.
Yeah, wake me in 2022, right?
Well, to media said call him a renegade. Yeah, that's a good word for Boba Fett.
Hey, it's starting to look more and more like we might get a Boba Fett spinoff. So
that kind of character is so appealing to people.
Right?
It's not the exact same as like a Deadpool, but similar.
Yeah, very.
But, people do love that archetype. I just like the fact that, well, just for example, in this animated film, Luke trusted me. He's they've got a clear aspirational up against it. So even though Luke's asleep right now, and we're going to follow this character, it doesn't try to make Luke or muddy Luke up into like this character or something.
Right.
As a lot of stories with these types of archetypes try to do sometimes.
One thing that we missed, it was a blink and you miss it moment. One of the creatures, I don't know if he was a street performer, if he was a beggar or what, but he was definitely the same race as that creature with the long snout that was the informant in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Those 70s style headphones.
Yes.
Should never
Very
reacted,
uncomfortable, let me tell you. And he quickly changes it.
Uh-huh.
That's a silly game. That's all it is.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
I would have those headphones only if they worked. They probably don't work.
Yeah.
I never had those headphones. I was in the 80s with the little foam Walkman headphones.
So the impression that you get from this is that this is some sort of fictionalized adventures of the in-universe heroes of the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I can reconcile him watching this thing.
And it would have been forbidden by the Empire.
Right.
That's from their perspective, propaganda for the resistance, So
right. Now, how did he get it? Well, maybe, Chewie intended him to get it. It's like, hey, just so you know what I've been up to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Phoenix Halcyon said, does Boba Fett only have 3 fingers in this? I wasn't paying attention to that. Or is that just the animation style? Chinching on fingers. It does look like
my
he's got
gosh,
4
it did
fingers.
look like he only
Right.
had 3 fingers.
He has
Yeah.
4 fingers, 3 fingers and a thumb.
4 fingers with a thumb.
But I think that's the same thing for the Stormtroopers, isn't it? It might just be the
I
animation
think
style.
cartoons, that was a standard.
Well, Luke
Yeah,
Skywalker
Luke-
too. He only has
yeah.
3 fingers.
Yeah, cartoons I always draw with 3 fingers and a thumb because it's
Yeah.
quicker.
Han Solo has three fingers and his face is melting.
Very much a caricature of Harrison Ford.
I could totally see Harrison Ford looking at it going, yep, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah, even 3PO has 3 fingers. Good catch. All these years I never even noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean Flintstones, Jetsons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney.
Simpsons.
Got the jetpack.
Yep.
I want to get me one of those.
I'll tell you what,
Jetpack.
Professor, you would have liked the last episode of Mandalorian. Seeing Bo-Katan, it was just like she came out of the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Boba Fett in this cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I was talking and I wasn't paying attention. How did Boba Fett get scared away? Just because there was so many against him at that point, or
I
guess that would
no, I
that'd be
wasn't
5
paying attention
against.
either. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah,
They got the cure, and I'm outnumbered.
yeah, okay.
Now this bothered the heck out of me as a kid. I was all in for the rebellion at this point.
That's true. I have a sign going into
Wait,
my office.
you haven't even seen it, Sound Engraver. Wait, it's coming.
The
I
sign
thought it
going.
was trash in a cool room.
The sign going in my office says, "Welcome to my Bat Cave. Don't
Yep.
touch anything."
Exactly.
So Disney Store is actually truly selling that
Yep.
stuff, Bantha? Well,
He's got a plush. Would not
Oh,
exactly the
big-
same, probably a little smaller,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Big
it's a
man
plush
ripping
Bantha.
the head off a bantha.
I like the window patterns.
I do too.
Yeah, me too.
It's almost like stained glass, kind of evoking light through the trees or something.
And let me tell you, that table and chair set in the foreground, that is totally Wookiee style, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Spiegel says, so what exactly did Boba Fett accomplish? I guess it's just still part of his tracking of Han.
Yeah.
And because in Empire, we find out, of course, that Darth Vader has hired him, because he wants Luke. So he has tracked them. At least he's on their trail at this point, I guess.
And there is fan speculation that the bounty hunter that they ran into on Ord Mantell was Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
There might even be an EU story about that.
I just remember the reveal when you found out Inger was Boba Fett in Scoundrels. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's heart-wrenching.
Right?
Yeah.
Yikes. I'm torn.
Oh, I want to knock both those guys off the railing. It's like,
right?
Well, crush
don't worry. They will
stuff.
later on.
No, I'm not one for vengeance. I just don't like a kid crying like that.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like a ceremonial draping.
There was absolutely no reason whatsoever to destroy his stuffed animal.
He kisses it. Oh, it's heart-wrenching. Oh, dads can't watch this kind of stuff.
But did you see that little moment of resolve? He's like, I got to do something, And it's like, well, that's how you make the rebellion grow. The more you tighten your grip.
I am going to have to slip away for a moment, so I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, this is probably the worst. And it's Harvey Korman too. It's like, come on, man, you're better than this. And again, like I said, these electronic projects, when I was a kid, I loved these. This is how I learned how electricity worked and light bulbs and, closed circuits and stuff like that.
I never played with stuff like that.
Okay, so the whole shtick, Sound Engraver, is that Harvey Korman's character is some sort of automaton that's like running down.
It would have been so much better with Tim Conway.
I know. I always felt like Harvey Korman really always needed someone to play off of. That's when he was best. Tim Conway, too. He was good. I loved his dwarf stuff and whatnot, but he was best when he was with Harvey Korman.
Yep.
It's a Ziploc
plastic bag?
Yeah. It's a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
That was futuristic in the 70s.
Yeah.
And not to hurt yourself on the sharp edges. Ouch.
This is like performance art.
Yeah. And not very good performance.
Well, a lot of performance art isn't very good.
I picture a young Matt Frewer watching this going, Max Headroom.
Yes! Oh my goodness, Al, you're right.
I'll be right back.
If anybody remembers Max Headroom.
Everybody's running off to the bathroom. I even like the TV show. There was an example.
Yeah, that TV show was pretty good.
Of a commercial mascot that made the transition to a television show well.
What's that?
We were just talking about Max Headroom.
Oh, Max Headroom.
Comparison to Harvey Korman's character here.
Yeah. Trying to repair his gift.
Oh, gosh. It takes a very steady hand.
So, dude, plug in and like recharge because you're annoying.
It's. I get the gag. It just goes on way too long, you know. So there is another version of this out there. It's a fan edit, and the fan edit replaces Harvey Korman with another rebel character. You know, having a dialogue with Lumpy here, and so all of his reactions make more sense as if he's talking to somebody.
Okay.
And if we do this again next year, that's the version we'll be watching, assuming I can find it.
Now, you know, they do some of the bits like this one do go on too long. At the same time, though, I've noticed that older films or older specials like this, the audience back then were more conditioned for longer segments. They had attention spans that could stick with either longer dramatic or longer comedy or whatever scenes like that. That's not a defense for this, but that it's one part of it, I think.
Well, yeah, I think you're kind of right though, because I do remember these 2-hour specials. Well, when Carol Burnett was on, I think wasn't it like 90 minutes?
Something like that, yeah. Or variety shows, yeah, they tended to be like that long, yeah. Excuse me. Required viewing. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
This is I do like the animated, but after that, this would be my favorite.
Figuring Dan and the modal nodes.
It's like reality. It's like reality TV show,
right?
We just saw the Wraith. There's the Wraith. The what are they called? No, that's the other race. I forget what the Wraith are called. The ones that look like werewolves. I can't remember the alien's name.
Well, and then of course there's always the double names, right? There was what the action figure was called, and then their personal names, right? So you saw Snaggletooth, but he's referred to as Zutmore in here.
Okay.
Of course, you see another Rhodian. He can't possibly be Greedo, who got blasted in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it's actually Bloodlow.
Oh, okay.
She is awesome. I thought I taught you to drink faster.
I love B. Arthur. Back in
that
Maud or
Snaggletooth that's sitting at the bar is the one that appears on the card for Snaggletooth, the original figure. So it's the closest you get to an actual figure from this show.
We're talking. You're not ordering. I'm not pouring. You're not drinking.
We are, in fact, talking.
Look at that hair that Harvey Korman has. Wow.
Well, there's a reason for that. This is a little bit heartbreaking too, actually. It's funny but sad.
I'll be waiting. I don't know how she can resist that sexy nose, though.
Well, it's kind of like a bird.
He pours it into the hole in his head.
Hammerhead. I always like
Ithorians.
Hammerhead.
The Ithorians.
Ithorians, right, exactly. Oh, what do you want now?
Look, there's a flower on top of it.
Oh, Tamedia said there was a Jedi werewolf in the Clone Wars. Yeah, they're in the Thrawn trilogy. Their colloquial name was Wraiths, but I forget the actual name for the race. Remember the smuggler? Now I'm blanking on his name too. Had one in his.
I really didn't know how to mix the sound with dialogue in the scene.
No, yeah.
6 fingers.
Yeah, exactly. What did I say?
Tom Spiegel said the volcano heads guys got me beat in the art of seduction. Dude, she's not interested.
She's not that into you.
Whoa, me too. Hashtag me too.
Right?
And terribly
She's
attractive.
so nice to him, though.
I just have one thing to say. I did not.
She is the best. She does the best acting job,
Right?
on this.
She takes
on
it
this
seriously, right?
Yeah. Here's our song.
Yep. Hmm. That is heartbreaking.
Uh-huh.
Because he realized,
Oh, man.
oh, she says it to everybody. And the guy in the foreground that had the brain looking head, his name is Pons Limbic.
Okay.
Yes, because of CV, social distancing.
There's so many parallels.
He looks like Martin Landau, like a young Martin Landau.
Mhm. Kinda. But even back then, Martin Landau wasn't that young.
That's true, yeah. A great song. She's so great.
One more round, friends.
All around friend, yeah.
And she does. She names a lot of these characters in a bit.
Mm-hmm. You awake, Al?
We're closed. Get out.
I want you gone.
This really will be May 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'll be in that cantina
Resisting.
resisting.
Keldar Zutmore. Yeah, you will enter the money. You think you're ever going to see it again? See, she's called him Bloodlow.
It is sad for her though, because she's worried about getting in trouble. You know?
Right. And it's like, you guys resist this way, I'm going to lose my business and you won't have anywhere to meet.
Yeah.
I don't believe we've met.
The Deveronians.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Somebody did a Torque custom, so I'm definitely going to be doing one of him, too. My Cantina needs a bouncer.
Have any of you ever seen people show up at a con in cosplay from the holiday special?
Yes. What's the four-armed Harvey Korman character? A lot of people like to do that one. And I have seen people do Akmina, too.
One more round. On the house. That'll get
And
him.
what's funny about it is it's very cleverly woven into the narrative. She uses the song to, Pied Piper them out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And her performance singing it too,
Right?
and doing the actions of getting them out is so smooth.
So obviously I've noticed the big differences between this locale and the original Cantina. For example, the original Cantina does not have stools around the bar. And
The difference here in this Cantina though does remind me a little bit of the way they did the Cantina in the old Legos Star Wars video game.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Maybe.
Different style tables, but they have the same lamps on the tables.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love this. You're right. It's the Cantina band tune. Just kind of slowed down a little bit.
Good night.
That is one big rat.
And the two of us need a little.
Yeah, Ben.
Can you purchase this song? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so. No, I don't think there's ever been a release of this.
You can hear how she did so much Broadway, though. She's got that kind of.
Yup.
And this is a musical style song.
Yeah. Muff Tack drunk. I love it.
Good night, but not goodbye.
So a little behind the scenes on this. I'm not this was filmed in Southern California.
Oh, okay.
And it was incredibly hot on this set. And some of these guys in costume that are acting drunk were literally passing out from the heat.
Oh, no, I bet.
Yeah. They said it was the most miserable thing they've ever done in acting.
Like Michael Myers back there.
Kinda, yeah. I love that. He tries to give her a hug and dance with her.
Have to wait, Klaus.
I love the fact, of course, everything about this just reeks of holiday.
Right?
All right. Well, Life Day anyway.
Well, you
True,
know, I
Life
mean,
Day.
for the adults, holidays mean drinking a lot.
Didn't
This
they
is
say
the only interesting musical sequence that is appropriately paced.
That's because
See, she's literally doing the Pied Piper. Follow me.
Right. Yeah.
cha-cha line right out the door. B. Arthur's so great. I remember, I don't know what it was, but there was a couple of television specials I would see her sing on occasionally.
I saw Skeletor just leaving.
Yeah.
Awesome. Lurch is there taking the drinks cups from him.
Sometime when it's a little bit more appropriate, I'll tell you the connection between Skeletor and Star Trek.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know, this is the reason why it's called the most wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Mm-hmm.
Because of these guys.
Yeah.
Aww.
Like the electric organ with the phaser. Wow, wow, wow. Or flanger, actually.
There is kind of an implied storyline there, right? That Torg is sad because he is as invested in this business as she is.
Yeah. Well, that's his livelihood too. If he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. And it is, you know, I mean, we were talking about the connection today, you know, like the resistance, stuff like that, but it shows how it hurts the businesses too. I mean, look at her. No,
oh, he's still there.
He won't leave you, unfortunately.
It makes you wonder if she maybe like takes sees him in a different light now, you know?
That's a long antenna.
Acmina. That's okay. Yeah, I got her name. I just wasn't saying her name. That's right. Thanks, Alex Starr. I know I heard you say it a few times right there.
My uncle bought me a set of, you know, very professional walkie-talkie, and they had very long antenna. Mm-hmm. You needed a long antenna in order to get longer distance. It was a bizarre time, let me tell you.
Yep.
Alex Starr, just spit it out already.
Oh, the retracted. No, I get that. I mistype things too when I'm typing. She appears in Fate of the Jedi: Allies of the Book, which is 40 years after A New Hope.
Oh,
Cool. So
I had
she's in
no
the EU
idea.
too. That is awesome. I just got in the mail the Tales of the Jedi, or not Tales of the Jedi. It's the short story collection that has the
Did you? I missed what you said. Did you say Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that is a good. That one. If you like that one, get Tales of the Bounty Hunter too.
Okay, I haven't read it yet. I just got it in the mail because I'm collecting all the.
You will enjoy it. There's some good stories in there.
As I can afford it, I like to collect all the EU books I can because some of them you just can't get anymore. It's just sad. So I try to keep the library.
If there's something you're looking for and can't find, let me know. I do have a lot of them.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, definitely. Poor Lumpy. Just fix
If he were a little bigger, he'd rip that guy's arm out of his side.
Right? Don't worry, Daddy's
messing
here.
with my son.
Yeah. Okay, I'll move over here. You should have shot me when you had a chance.
That's right.
Rust bucket. Now watch this. Watch how this goes.
Nice.
First, we get a Wilhelm scream, right?
Yep.
Han didn't do anything.
Well, he fainted
to
look like he was going for it, so that he would actually go for it and fall. Yeah.
And it's his own fault. He fell over on his own.
Yep.
So they literally were intentionally not showing violence.
Yeah.
At least not on the part of the heroes.
Yeah, true. Now, the creepiest thing for me is these long stairs between Han and Mala.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there some kind of subtext going on here? What's happening?
He hasn't seen his wife in a while. He's staring adoringly
No,
into
he's
her
between
eyes.
Han and Mala.
Oh, Han and Mala. I thought you said Chewie and Mala.
No, that would make sense, right? Like you said.
So
But you'll
maybe
see it
he's
in a
crushing on Mala.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's...
I'm telling you, she is a very, very attractive looking.
I don't know how much it's really Mala or how much it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
You're like family to me. Okay, that's fine. But now this.
Yeah.
What is going on there? And they do it some more too.
It's what it actually is bad editing, because that's actually a scene that they filmed between her and Chewbacca, but they reused the footage.
Oh, okay.
I think you guys are just reading into this way too much.
I also think it might be kind of things he said, you're like family to me, because I don't think he has family of his own. So it's kind of like a wistful thing. Like, I wish I could stay, but
yeah, that's what it was intended for. Yeah.
I don't for a second think it was intended as anything else than that. It was just kind of weirdly portrayed. But the most touching thing is that hug between him and Chewie right there.
Yeah. Did you see how he scritched him under the neck? Like you would with a dog,
Mm-hmm.
I do like that door.
See, that's the exact look. That's
Yeah.
the edited scene that they used earlier.
That makes sense. I never picked that up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice more and more things about how editing is done.
Oh,
I mean, come on. It's a soldier coming home for the holidays.
That's true. I don't need to see Wookiees embracing.
Yeah, it made it even worse when I found out that Mala was played by a male actor.
It's Wookie Nookie.
Oh,
Wookie Nookie.
you had to go there.
Yeah. Well, Al with the rhymes and the alliterations, right?
That's right. Oh, who could it be?
Who could
This
it
be another threat?
now?
Not men at work.
Don't shoot me. You sure know how to make a guy feel welcome. Getting a call.
General alert.
Oh, and that's the officer.
Yep.
Just fell.
It's kind of out of commission.
Mhm. Everything's fine here. Everything's fine. How are you?
Situation normal. How are you? He's a defector, is what he is.
But they were so willing to believe the worst of their own men because the way they treat them, they're the bad guys.
See, it does play fast and loose with the canon, right? Because you get the impression that stormtroopers are like lockstep, loyal.
Not all of them.
Well, and then there's Finn. He's the turncoat, he's the traitor.
May the force be with you.
Hokey religions and ancient superstitions.
I do wish we would have gotten a little bit more of the lore of what actual Life Day is. You get the little song and stuff at the end, but
what's really hard is that you have to infer it all from what you see. And I got to be honest with you, it's only in the past couple of years that I've been reading about it and realizing, they've really thought about this based on what's implied here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, look how big Festivus has gotten.
That's
right.
True. Yeah, from one episode of Seinfeld.
You're right, Mr. Matchstick. Nobody cares about Finn, including the people that created him.
I like the light. The shimmery water light. I always like that effect.
So here's what happens, okay? So these little baubles of light are used to decorate the Tree of Life, which is the biggest tree in Kashyyyk, which they believe was the first seed that was planted on Kashyyyk from which all life sprung. The red robes, that just means they want to become Imperial Guards. I don't know.
I like the lore. That's what I was saying. I wish we had more of it, even in the special too, because that's cool. Like another culture celebration like that. You have to send me a website or something. If you said you've been reading up on it, I'd like to read some of that.
Well, the video that I'm working on that I'll get out in the next couple of days, I'll have some.
Oh, cool.
I'll have more information about it, and I will link sources like I usually do with my videos. Cool. I don't know what the walking into the sun thing was. That's just.
I know. It looked like they're all dead and.
Yeah, they're all just tripping, right? They're walking into the light, and that's the end for them. But
this here with the fog on the ground and everything does look like the underlevel of Kashyyyk and actually the Old Republic when you go down to
exactly right. What do they call it? The Underdark or something like that, or
I forget, but yeah, something like that.
Which, by the way, is where you have to go in order to get the Wasaka berries.
Oh, okay.
And this is the Tree of Life.
That's a whole lot of Wookiee bang.
Yeah. Yes, R2. I'm glad that I still have a job too.
Shadowland. Thank you, Alex Starr. That's what it's called, yeah. Reunion.
So, again, another blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. Luke is wearing a lightsaber on his belt.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. It is not the lightsaber that you see him with in Star Wars or in Empire.
Oh, yeah, it's longer. That's right. Yeah.
It is made from a different Graflex handle. I have the original Graflex handle, so I basically have the equivalent of a replica of the original lightsaber. And I also have that Graflex that he has on his belt, and I am going to turn it into the lightsaber in this special. Sing it, Debbie Reynolds' daughter.
She did have a nice voice. She had a nice voice.
That's true. I will give her that she is a good singer and she's doing a good job.
Mhm.
That doesn't make it a good song.
Yeah, I didn't praise a song.
Yeah, you got Luke and Hans sitting there going, "Oh, finish up already."
I also feel like she didn't have the best vocal range because there were some places where she really should have gone a bit higher.
Yeah, it might sound a little off key or something. I don't know.
But hey, when you consider how much she had to drink that day, I'd say she's doing pretty good.
What also doesn't help that her voice follows up B. Arthur's.
True. But I do expect more of Debbie Reynolds' daughter, you know.
Mm.
It's not the right range for this music, though.
No.
Mm.
It is kind of sweet, though, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the orchestra shouldn't overwhelm the voice like that, but it's because of her register.
Oh,
It's not anything to her voice. It's just not the right key.
bad combination. Yeah.
And for those of you that are constantly complaining about member berries, from here to the end credits, that's all it is. So they were doing it back in '78 too. So deal with it.
Well,
And they only had one
That's
movie
right.
to draw scenes from.
Yep, that's true. One movie, yeah.
I always said this would have been much better if they had, the whole trilogy to draw stock footage from.
But imagine watching this back in the day. There was no such thing as buying the DVD and having it on repeat. So you saw it in the theater as many times as you wanted to or could as a child, and then this was the very next time you saw this footage. Oh, I remember that! And that would have been really cool.
And that was the only way Obi-Wan got in here, was in that piece of stock footage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I still love the original Death Star better than the other one. I'm the stickler for completion.
I was just going to say, there's something to be said for something that's finished, right? I mean, it's the difference between, being able to move into your house and, seeing it, still being framed.
Oh, and that was pre special edition when they added a lot more people.
Yes, that's right.
True.
In other words, the way it really happened, not the way it was reimagined.
These holiday specials, though, they do kind of, even though, I was watching them early 80s, Christmas time and stuff like that, it's still similar. That music and the fades in and fades out, that does just kind of spell the holidays for me. Because,
right?
It's before you, like, again, you have VHS and VCRs, but they weren't readily selling all this stuff back then. So if you wanted to watch Rudolph, if you wanted to watch Frosty, you had to get the TV guide or the newspaper and find out when it was going to air that year on what channel, what night and stuff. And
I do remember, though, in the 80s when my mother first got a VCR, and our goal was, we're going to record the things that we love, that we want to make sure that we keep. And we had all that stuff put aside. And of course, I've gotten rid of those tapes over the years as I've gotten DVDs and so forth.
Sure.
They're saying grace, guys.
I know.
Right? They're saying grace. Why don't we do that anymore?
She survived.
Yeah. I love that red light inside that room.
Look at those windows, though. Those you could see those are the same windows, and on top there. So they were consistent in their matte painting with what they did on the interior.
Like Lumpy was played by Patty Maloney.
Yep.
Well, we have done so. Sound Engraver, you have just completed your first time through the Star Wars Holiday Special. Any thoughts?
Yeah, actually, it was much better than I was expecting. It's actually not bad. I don't know why I thought it was more like going to be. I thought it was going to be more like a mosaic of different random sequences, but it actually did have a plot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to see that.
By the way, I don't know who it was who just pointed out that was Patty Maloney, but she was an actress, a little person, and she was in a lot of things that you've probably seen and didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
She was in, for example, The Addams Family. I don't know what role she played offhand.
Wasn't she in Willow too, or was she too old at that point?
The role that Al and I would remember her from best was she played Tina, the female version of Tweaky in Buck Rogers.
Oh yeah.
But she was also a stand-in for Tweaky.
When Felix couldn't or
Exactly.
was busy or something.
He got ill, didn't he? She had a
I don't know.
for a while.
It's okay, little Troy. Wonder Woman and Incredible Hulk will return to their regular times next week on these stations.
I know, and as they said, and you won't have missed an episode. But yeah, that's
very cool.
You go.
So we did it. Second time through. This was a lot of fun. A lot
Ladies,
more fun than I thought it would be.
Us?
Still with us, ladies?
Wow,
I'm here.
I didn't. I was listening to the prof, so Troy said something. So I was waiting for the prof to say what.
No, I was asking if you guys were still here. I was afraid that
Yeah, Patty Maloney played Honk in Far Out Space Nuts.
I have no idea what that is.
Me neither.
Often a guest on Donnie Marie and portrayed the robot waitress Tina in Buck Rogers.
Yep.
System.
That's where I know her from.
Oh,
yeah.
And of course, Michael knows her. She appeared in Ernest Saves Christmas.
Oh, she was one of the elves. Okay.
One of the elves. Yep.
That's right. Those elves are hilarious at the end. Yeah. That's cool.
So there you go. That was Lumpy. You didn't even know it.
And nice segue to the next rewatch on my channel, which is December 5th, Ernest Saves Christmas. So come back to my channel then for some more rewatch fun. Again, probably don't know how much analysis is going to go on that night, unless it's about clown acting and stuff like that, but that'll be fun. It's still up in the air as to who will be present for that one.
I'll be there.
Is Ernest an aspirational character?
Yes, he is. He's an innocent. He's a naive, or not naive, but pure-hearted, heart of a child. You saw Ernest Scared Stupid.
Would you say that's an archetype? The innocent?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the innocent. Yeah, the.
I don't think I've seen a video from Professor Geek on that, so I don't believe it.
There are lots of sub-archetypes I have yet to do videos on. In fact, actually, now that you mentioned that, I do have to do, because in my list of archetype videos to do, the next one was the Paragon, which was like the sub-archetype of the aspirational. And I've been, since all of my classes have moved online, I've been using some of the YouTube videos that I already made on these archetypes to kind of supplement some of my lessons online. And I don't have one made for that Paragon yet. So that is going to be the next one in the next couple weeks.
Oh,
you'll see that.
Great.
Yeah, because I'll have to do it for my class anyway.
So if you guys are at all interested in the history on, the holiday special, this bizarre thing that did happen and does have its place in Star Wars lore, I really would appreciate it if you check out my most recent video about the action figures that I've created, giving a history of why I created them, what inspired them, and how that ties into Kenner's plans to put out toys related to this craziness.
Cool.
And in the next couple days, I will be getting out a video talking more about Life Day and the Chewbacca's favorite dessert, Wasaka berry pudding.
Cool. Awesome. Very cool. And if you guys have any more closing comments or thoughts, feel free to drop them. But I just wanted to go through again at the end of the stream here, since a lot of people joined midway through or whatever. And I just want to thank Phoenix Halcyon again for this cool fan art. Yeah. And go through and show them all. This is me as Luke again. You'll remember if this is similar to my Paul Muad'Dib, or Prof Muageek, as I called it from the Dune study. He's the same artist here. So very cool that we have Big Al Baca with goatee intact, even though he's got Wookiee hair all over his face. That's your smile. That's your smile. Right? I love it. It's got
it totally is.
And then Sound Engraver in her first cosplay ever.
That's right. If I ever did cosplay in real life, this would be it. My own avatar. Thank you, Phoenix.
Awesome. And then Phoenix's idea, his own idea to couple Troy's Klingon cleric persona with Han Solo. Love it.
That was
awesome.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Very cool. And then, as you said, Troy, he got Netter's eyes here for Netter Leia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. And really good art. I mean, that's high level art. That's not like fan art level, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I've had wonderful people that I so much appreciate send me art and stuff like that. And it's really great, but you can tell they're working on it. They're progressing, you know, or something like that. But sometimes people will send you something like Wolf 10 Media sent me that awesome birthday present of me as a Jedi, you know, which is awesome. And this stuff here, it just really is. That's like, you could do something with this art, Phoenix. I hope you do. But yeah, feel free to drop your Deviant or your YouTube channel or whatever it is, links for you again if you're still around. But thanks for doing that.
I look at this and I see the kind of talent that I would suggest maybe might want to contribute to a Tales from the Stacks Volume 2.
Or a Blue Wonder or something like that, you know? That's
just saying.
If I can ever get things completed.
I gotta say, I got my physical copy of Tales from the Stacks last week, and I am so fired up.
Well, I've got you know, the NaNoWriMo. It was for me to complete the novella of Fall of Mithrisis, which is happening, is very on track. But the Blue Wonder short story collections, they're still coming along. But people keep asking me, and I just keep slapping myself for not finishing it up. That archetype book, you know, it needs to happen. So lots of kettles on the fire, but we will see what happens there. So
it's amazing how hard it can be to get all these projects done when you have to work and make a living too.
It's not like I'm a dad, a student, a teacher, you know, all that stuff too, right?
Excuses.
I'm with Big Al.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Stop. You got to do the work. That's what Sound Engraver tells us. You got to just don't wait until you feel inspired. Don't wait until you feel motivated.
That's right.
Practice.
I don't know. I think Sound Engraver someday, some guy is going to be kind of. You're going to be the force behind some man because he won't have a choice.
That's true.
Get out there, dude. No.
I'm asking.
Are you saying like I'm the force behind you, dear?
Yeah.
Very much so.
I'm just asking half an hour a day.
Where's that little whip? Where's that little whip sound when we need it?
Oh my goodness. Gosh.
Alex Starr says, I requested for you to do a rewatch of the holiday special a while back. Dreams do come true. Thanks for it. Early life day gift. I was doing homework all day. I needed it. Awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Really glad.
Alex Starr said that at the beginning of the stream, and I did point out, and I shared with him the link that we did it last year on Big Al's channel, but the professor couldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's specifically why he's like, well, I'll do it again, and this time it'll be on my channel.
What's on my channel? I thought it was on your channel.
No, it was on your channel. I even put a link to it.
Okay.
And but I know it kind of runs together in your mind. But next year maybe it will be on my channel.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. No, and I just offered, you know, but it'll bounce around, but it's an annual thing, as Troy said. So
I did enjoy
Lucky
it.
us.
Yeah.
Good. Glad some great enjoyed it. And Phoenix Halcyon is dropping his Twitter, his Deviant art there, which is great. And Troy dropped the link to his video, like he said that he just did, and then look for his channel again for the upcoming holiday special videos that you said there.
Oh, and actually, let me. I guess now I have to drop the link to the Klingon cleric because that's where the cooking video is going to be.
Yes, that's right.
So let me get that up there.
Yeah.
I will say I do love the DeviantArt site. That's a fun place to just go around and search.
That's
where we find, like, you know, the Bitmoji bodies that we used for like the last thumbnail and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry. Let me just real quick drop the link for the Klingon cleric.
No, yeah, please do, and watch for that in the chat there. But while he's doing that, we've got this is Tuesday night, so tomorrow, Wednesday, there of course is the Green Lion Girls gaming stream and Daniel Heron's Birdman soundtracks with Birdman, which is Dances with Wolves, which I am going to try my best to be there at least for the beginning to talk a little bit frontiersman stuff with him. It's just so hard for me on Wednesdays because that's my one designated night for my own schoolwork, doing for my other degree, and so I'll do my best to be there for a bit of that if I can, and then
Dances with Wolves is a great soundtrack. I mean, it's no B. Arthur singing, but still.
Well, not everything can be. So.
Right.
No.
There's only one thing that beats a B. Arthur solo. That's Betty White.
See, I just am a fan of her.
Betty
talent.
White has never done anything with Star Wars, so she's dead to me.
Oh gosh.
There was that really cool image. It was after
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Estelle Getty, I think, was sadly the last one to pass away, and so somebody did an image of Betty White holding a lightsaber like in battle, and then the three other Golden Girls were behind her as Force ghosts, and it was like she's still carrying on, or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Cool.
So she does have a Star Wars connection. So there.
Yeah, as a meme.
But yeah, then Thursday, of course. No, actually, tomorrow, Fanman will do a Second Cup Cafe in the morning too, right, Al? Is that
as far as I know?
Yeah. But Thursday night, as I said earlier in the book stream, over back on Catholic Bible Geek, we'll be doing the another installment of the Book of John, which you might think Gospel of John. How does that connect to Professor Geek Channel? Well, I've named it John, Gospel of a Fanboy, because John is very much was very much younger in his time with Jesus, so he's kind of looking up to his hero in that respect.
But it's on the Catholic Bible Geek channel.
It is. I think if I didn't say that, I meant to the Catholic Bible Geek channel, but I'm just made the connection wise. I'm talking about it here. Right. But that's Thursday night, and then Friday is Fan doing something Friday night, Troy? I mean,
I guess so.
Never know.
I know.
Maybe possibly.
If you don't, I will.
Okay. And then Saturday night, where's the rewatch, guys?
That'll be over on my channel.
Cool.
That'll be Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn.
Dreaming of a white Christmas.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, the first appearance of the song White Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like the ones I used to know.
Do I need to give a trigger warning that there might be some content that isn't considered appropriate for modern sensibilities or whatever?
What are these days? What is considered appropriate content these days? I think everything has just been wiped out.
People go out of their way to find something to be offended about.
Oh yeah, it's dopamine.
My favorite part, though, of the White Christmas song is as he's sitting the piano singing it, and then he takes the pipe out of his mouth to play the bells on top of the piano. I'm like, that is so suave.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's cool. But that is Saturday. Sunday is Study Hall on Age of Boomers channel with Troy and Age of Boomer, and Matchstick I think is doing a Wee Watch that night too. Usually does, but yeah, he's here.
I do have to say we do really make an honest effort to find positive stories, but it's difficult. It really is.
I want to say, now that you're here with me, Troy, I love it when you guys run through your stories, and I love the little grunts that Aged Boomer makes. He's like,
yeah, I know. Oh, but we do it all week long with each other because he'll send me an article and I'll be like, yeah, I saw that. And I'll send something to him and he'll be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can't make this stuff up, dude.
Oh, and that is where you go. Like if you enjoyed the old Office Hours stream on mine, that's where all that kind of content, the commentary on the geek news and stuff like that is over there on Study Hall with Age of Boomer and Troy. So,
and we do get some of the occasional arguments between the hosts, like you might have gotten back in the past with Professor and Big Al. We don't always agree on things,
Yeah. Oh, I was remembering the other day that time we were talking. Forget what the topic at hand was, but Sound Engraver did a super chat talking about, or she talked about how when she first saw one of the sequel trilogy movies, she thought, oh, it's not that bad. But then she thought about it later and came around to why it was wrong or whatever. And I think I gave her a little bit of a hard time. And she super chat saying, oh, I'm so sorry or whatever. I was like, oh, don't worry about that. I was just messing around. And Al chimes in, oh, pretty little Miss Sound Engraver. She could just say that and be forgiven. But I say I didn't want to kill myself, and heaven forbid.
And see, I thought you missed your opportunity. Well, she sent me a super chat.
Yeah.
Money talks, dude.
I think I might have said something like that, honestly.
Actually, before I wanted to touch on Alex Starr's comment before he heads to bed. He says he's going to try to get some sleep. Have a good week, weekend, month, and Thanksgiving. Go see your families. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
That's right. Amen.
Right.
Hey,
Amen.
yeah, and Mr. Matchstick said, don't forget to mention the Arkham Origins stream. I did forget when. Is that going to be on Sunday like it was last week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Can
don't know.
you let us know, Mr. Matchstick? Just
Yeah, he started that playthrough, and that, of course, is set on Christmas Eve night, and it's a wonderful game. I started doing a game stream of it last year or the year before, or whatever, but never stuck with it or finished
well,
it.
of
So he's
course
doing
not.
that.
There was no wall chicken.
Now I am in terms of game streaming. I've been talking about this for a while, and I've decided that this will be my celebration once this semester's over. And so my teaching and study, my actual student work and my teaching work is at a hold for the holidays. That's when I'm going to pick a night and just do a marathon of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, because people want the story who don't game. A lot of people in the community want to see, because it's such a crucial part of the EU in that era, and so much is built upon it, and they don't want they're not gamers, or they don't want to play it themselves, so they can watch it along as a game stream. So
okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Matchstick's Arkham game is on Friday night.
Friday night. Okay.
Now, Green Lion Girl said, just wait till I finish my latest video, the problems releasing incomplete games with glitches. I'm going to make someone mad.
That's gonna be great. And by the way, I mean, I'm not one for making people mad. I actually don't like conflict, even though I like being cheeky, but actually you'll get views that way. I mean, because it's already going to be a hot topic. I'm very interested in seeing that video.
Been talking. One of the things I've been saying to Mr. Matchstick is, and well, I'm the one that usually does the thumbnail for the study hall, and I purposely will do things that are a little misleading. I think I had the professor really going that one week when I said something about Star Wars being retconned, and it was completely the opposite of what
probably. I don't know.
Yeah, because what I meant was, I believe, and of course you've just put out a video to completely countermand it, but my belief is that all the indications are that they're going to be retconning the sequel trilogy. But I put in the thumbnail, making it seem like they were going to be retconning Star Wars in general, inferring it was. And why do I do that? Yes, it's clickbait, because it gets clicks, it gets people to watch, gets people,
I don't remember. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I might have inferred that incorrect. I don't know. I need to.
I think Sound Engraver fell for it too, because I think she assumed that they were going to be retconning the original Star Wars.
No, I knew what you're saying.
Troy
have the video channel.
What's that?
I thought we should, if we have that discussion, we can migrate to another channel.
Well, that is why you'd want to watch Study Hall. It's another tease for that, because you do get the the other opinions in the community, which is really great. So I definitely recommend Study Hall.
And I'll tell you, it's very much a community. I mean, he and I have talked about, well, is this the kind of thing that should be pre-recorded? I'm like, no, because I feel like the input we get from the audience makes the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a back and forth. Yeah, definitely. Those kinds of shows. Absolutely. Within arm's reach here, I do have this that I'll turn the camera on. This will be the last thing we do before we. Oh, no, actually, we didn't get through the calendar yet. That's Sunday. And then, of course, Monday, there is a little bit of a difference this week. If you missed over on the Catholic Bible Geek channel, that's where we're doing the weekly book study of The Magician's Nephew, the first chronological book in the Chronicles of Narnia. So we're doing that book study right now. That's usually on Tuesdays. But
Please keep reminding me.
Okay, I will. But just for next week, since the holiday week is there, I'm not going to be streaming at all on any channel on Tuesday or Thursday. So I'm going to end up moving the book study to Monday night at 8 p.m. over there on the Catholic Bible Geek channel. And we will wrap up in plenty of time for Sound Engraver's Monday Night Muse. And I think you said something in the comments, Sound Engraver, about a possible topic for that. Did you have one? Or
I would have to listen to the Ainulindale from the Silmarillion, but the idea of Aslan evoking and creating the world through song, and then also Tolkien's mythology with Iluvatar creating the world and the universe through song. I'd have to read the Silmarillion or listen to it again on YouTube to get the language. But I think it'd be fun to have a casual stream and talk about at least those two examples, but also examples of people having kind of that musical language and what that conveys. And I probably would use examples probably from The Magician's Nephew, how that does look.
Do you feel that because I heard the stream earlier this evening and the correlation that was drawn between those two authors, do you feel that they may have been inspired by the whole concept of the music of the spheres and the idea of God as leading an orchestra?
I don't know so much for leading an orchestra, but there are verses in scriptures that talks about his song is over me, talking about King David and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So they could draw from that, and I don't know. I think the idea of creation through music is quite a beautiful romantic idea for.
Well, there is
the fantasy mythos.
As a classicist, Tolkien would have known about the music of the spheres and stuff. C.S. Lewis would have known about the music of the spheres as a classicist as well, as I'm sure Tolkien did. Yeah,
and there is something to be said for the idea of the chaos of the universe being brought into order, the way an orchestra is, can be a cacophony unless you have it, pulled into order.
Oh man, you guys might know something I don't.
God
sounds like a lot of preparation.
No, it sounds. I'm really excited to hear you talk about it because, especially with all the themes you've been covering, this will be a perfect extension into that really deep one. And then I do have some videos. Just because I'm not streaming next week, there will be some videos dropping. I have a fun Thanksgiving video planned for the Professor Geek channel. So a fun.
Is this that one where you try to cook a turkey and you end up wearing it on your head? Because I've seen that one.
Really? No. No, it's not.
Well, maybe it was Mr. Bean. I don't know.
Got to stop watching Friends repeats.
Well, next Wednesday I am going to be showing the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Good.
With Agent Boomer as my co-host. So that's going to be on the Wednesday. I guess it's going to be what we're starting to refer to as Professor Geek Standard Time. So that'll be 9:00 Central and 10:00. What are you guys?
10 Eastern.
Eastern, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
Which direction do you live in?
That's right.
Yeah, it's like, are you behind us, ahead of us?
Glad you mentioned that because I wasn't sure about that.
We're the beast of the East.
I will show one thing before I sign off here because I just have it in arm's reach as we are closing up the Star Wars thing. But let me turn on my camera, start cam. There we go. And I'll make myself there for a second. This is I got this in the mail a long time ago, actually, but I just recovered it when I was organizing some books or whatever, and I haven't read it yet. I want to read it. This is Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. This is the World Class BSers book. The channel has got Jeff and all of the guys from the channel in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that book. Like it's a faux, card for a toy, but it's actually the real Harrison Ford in there because the idea is that they kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to make another Star Wars movie in their basement. It's hilarious. I just had a picture or a scene to show. Let me try and find a page I was just going to show. Oh yeah, here we have here he's forcing them to make. He's got them in the costume there, and Jeff is like in a bathrobe but trying to be Chewbacca with like the green screen tennis ball on his head or something to talk to and everything. So it's a pretty funny concept. I've read just a little bit, but I haven't gotten through it all. But
it looks like it's the same artist that does his thumbnails for the videos.
I think that's actually him. I think that's Jeff himself. If I'm not, I might be mistaken. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't do my research before I wanted to show it. I just saw it at arm's length, and I figured I'd show it at the end of the stream up here. But Jeff Hicks, writer, artist. Yeah, so that is Jeff doing the art as well. And he's got a colorist and everybody and letters and stuff. So yeah, that's him. So very cool. But let me get off of here then, and I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us and enjoying the rewatch with us and everything.
I hope nobody's heads exploded, nobody's ears are bleeding. I know it was rough, but
yeah, I think we might have missed one. I didn't hear anybody say this. Wolf 10 Media said that on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, he's got a show.
WCR.
I didn't know that was officially like at a set time now. That's cool. Okay, great. Thanks for
I caught him by accident today and just popped in and said hi.
Yeah, I don't want to miss that.
I've been way behind on the weekly schedule. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh no, hey, it's
Well, the whole new job thing,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And don't Don't post links anymore, Troy. There are too many of us.
He's got one
It is
job.
Create your own
It is
channel,
getting
Sonic Raver.
I'm being nice to Troy, man.
He better have priorities.
You paid him his salary.
He actually enjoys doing it. And his salary is he gets a hug from me.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
No cheek to cheek.
I'll tell you what. That was enough salary for me for the past 9 months, but now I need to pay bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood. Well, yeah, the chat's saying they enjoyed it, loved it. Thanks, Matthew Flynn.
Good.
Thanks everybody for tuning that. That was a lot of fun. And tune in.
We
tune in to all the
had
other stuff.
37 thumbs up here and 21 likes, and that's just live. You guys can still catch this in the repeat. So
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, maybe I will do this next year. We will make this a regular thing.
What
Yeah.
I want to know is for all y'all who said you liked it, how much have you had to drink?
Right.
I enjoyed well, I was going to say something, then Al's sitting next to me.
Uh-oh.
I enjoyed the soft Wookiee hair costume. It looked like actual Wookiees.
Does look and there's story behind that too. I'll have to get into that some other time, but there's story about those costumes and how they were kind of put together and fabricated almost last minute, and they were different from Chewbacca's, not nearly as breathable and comfortable. Yeah.
Huh.
That's good stuff.
Very cool.
Cartoon was the best though, but the Boba Fett cartoon was the best.
Yeah. Very cool.
Even if they only had 3 fingers and melty faces.
Dude, man, that was a standard cartoon. I can't believe you didn't know that.
I knew it was standard, but he mentioned it, so I thought, oh, is that only Boba Fett? But no, he still knows everybody. So
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the panel for joining in. And until next time, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero stories you love.
Happy Life Day.
Bye.